Hello, Tiger fans. Thanks for joining us this week on the Perry Thomas Show here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we visit with the head coach of Fighting Tiger football, Perry Thomas, about this past weekend's matchup with the Thomas More Saints. Thomas More comes to Campbellsville, the third all-time meeting between the Tigers and Saints. And as we welcome in Coach here, Coach, that's a tight ball game, 31-28, three-point contest. Just not enough plays to be made in the second half. What was a shootout in the first half, 56 points. You finished the second half with just 3 total. I'm not sure anybody expected that.
Yeah, I mean, it's another loss for us. You know, Thomas More came in, and they're a good quality football team, and they got some confidence early and made it tough. And, you know, I thought it was going to be a great battle. They were able to get going early with some things. They made some adjustments. And, you know, offensively, we were on fire the first half, able to get in the end zone. So, you know, I'm looking at kind of like some old school football games, and maybe if we can shut them out a quarter or so, then we can get this win. Then things just didn't work out in the second half.
And I know you're not a guy to make excuses and to go into all that, but you look 5 losses, 4 of them, Coach, you have been tied or down a possession in the fourth quarter. I mean, you're right there. You're knocking on the door, just can't quite find that 1 or 2 plays to get over the hump.
Well, and that's the frustrating thing. It really is. You know, I tell people all the time, and people don't believe me, but when you coach and when you're an athlete, you probably start thinking about it, you'll see it's true. I'd rather you just beat us 100-0 than to beat us by 1 or by 3, or, you know, even if you beat us by a couple of touchdowns, but we're in the game. Because when you're losing those games, you're like, you know, we're just a play away, or we're a penalty away, and you say, well, that's easy to fix, but it's not always easy to fix. And sometimes we've played some teams that were better than us on paper. Some of these guys are much better than us on paper, but we're still going that fourth quarter down 3 points or a touchdown off and a chance to win them, and we're just not getting it done. And that's the frustrating thing, because yes, we're bad right now. We're 1-5, you know, and our record is who we really are. But we're right there. You know, we're a penalty away, or interception away, or a turnover away, a missed tackle away from you know, being 4-2 or whatever. So that's the frustrating thing. But to our guys' credit, they continue to battle. They continue to play hard, and you know, I'm proud of that.
And it's, I guess, a little easier to swallow if you could just get 1 or 2 of those. You know, that record, to have them all go the other way, it starts to snowball on you, and that's what really probably makes you lose a little sleep at night.
Well, no doubt about it. And I thought last year we were the same situation. You know, last year we was able to win 4 games, but you think we lost 3 or so, just like we're losing this year. So it could have been a 7-3 year last year. This year we're sitting here in the same situation, where it's going against us, and we're so close. And I really believe winning breeds winning and losing breeds losing. Both of them become contagious, and you begin to find a way to win, and you begin to find ways to lose. And right now, I feel like we're in that rut where we're contributing a great deal to our losses. Now, that's not to take anything from Thomas More or anyone that's coming here and beat us, Georgetown, all those people, because they're doing what it takes to win. But certainly, we're helping them, and that's affecting our record.
So we take a look at the box score, excuse me, from last week's matchup with Thomas More. Final score 31-28. Looking at some of the numbers, Tyler Sufish finishes that ball game. He was 13 of 30 from the field, 297 through the air, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. A couple of those interceptions late. Kendon Young, 6 for $167 and a touchdown on his way to an NCCAA Player of the Week honor. Marcus McCants with 11 stops, 1.5 for loss, and then of course an interception for McCants as well. And Coach, the big one to talk about there, Kendon Young, 167. We were talking before we went on. We missed it during the week or during the weekend, but he became Campbellsville's all-time leading receiver last week with that performance, and he's sitting second in receptions, tied with his offensive coordinator Rick Garris at 153. I don't think he'll catch Jared Harrington. He's still got 40 or so to go. I don't know if he can get there, but man, what a career he's had.
Yeah, he's had a great career, and you know, we expect those things from Kendon, and it's unfortunate that, you know, these last couple of years we haven't been as good because that certainly affects his notoriety and his national presence. You know, he was an honorable mention All-American last year as an all-purpose type player. He's a steady ball player, and he's done a great job. Local kid that's really done well for himself and represented Campbellsville High School well. So we're proud of him. I didn't even realize that he had those type of numbers, but I'm not surprised. He's had a great career for us. And he's done it when we've been a little undermanned compared to some of the other units we've had. We've been a little undermanned, so we've had to stress a lot, a few of these years on offense.
Let's take a look at the highlights from that matchup with Thomas More. Again, we mentioned Kendon had a big day with 167 yards. We'll see several of his highlights here. Thomas More gets the scoring started early. Coach, a little screen set up out of the backfield. Looked like running back come out and just found himself open for an easy score for Thomas More.
Yeah, which bothered us a great deal because people typically don't hit us with screens. But, you can see right there Tyler standing in the pocket and delivering to Blake Baker, a freshman that I think is going to be a dandy for us as he continues to get bigger and stronger.
They mark Blake Baker down right at the 1 yard line or so, just outside of it. Takes Tyler Sophia a couple of tries, but he finally punches it in. And, Coach, that's one thing that's pretty easy to do with a guy that's 6'3", 220 back there, quarterback. You just let him do the dirty work right there.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and he's got that forward lean, those big strong legs. So easy to get him in there.
Here, toe dab catch right there, and toe tap catch in the corner by Canty, one of the receivers there for Thomas More to extend the lead. Here comes the interception. Marcus McCants bats it around. Coach finally able to put the handle. I know you've had so many of those this year. You were probably sitting over there just wondering if they were going to be able to haul it in so close.
And it was great to get one. I tell you what, it was good to get one 2 weeks in a row. And we've struggled. We've played pretty good pass defense this year, but we've struggled getting those picks. And 2 weeks in a row, we've been able to come up one. And there you see Blake getting free again, and Tyler has that strong arm, which when those guys get behind the secondary, he can get the ball there.
Blake Baker's so close to his first touchdown on that first scoring drive. Didn't get it, but he comes up with a big one there as Tyler Sophia finds him. And here, Coach, you can see that defense flying up, making some big hits, tackle for loss that time.
Well, and I thought that first half we just really didn't play our style of defense. We've been flying around, getting after people all year on defense, and we show glimpses of it. You can see us right there getting after the quarterback. But, we extended some drives with some penalties and had a face mask on a fumble recovery, and they're able to right there walk it down and get the score. But really the first half, we just didn't play CU defense that we've been playing.
Yeah, as Coach mentioned, some penalties that extended drives. Campbellsville actually had 3 penalties that extended 3 scoring drives for Thomas More. Here, Kendon Young doing some of his best work of the season, Coach, making guys miss in space. I was really surprised that Bartolovich there, the linebacker for Thomas More, was able to get an angle enough to track him down. He really wasn't angled towards the pylon as you're taught. He was much sharper, but he was able to track Kendon down anyway.
Yeah, and Kendon, I think Kendon's a natural tailback. I tell people that all the time. I think that's his best position, actually, better than receiver. And when he gets the ball, he knows what to do with it. He's a good runner with it right there. You saw Zach Cole, the big freshman, who's going to be impressive throughout his career. And we just fell down in coverage right there. They beat us on the out and up, and it happens sometimes. And the guy lost his feet and gave up the big score, but. That was their last touchdown, and if we could just eliminated one of those, we win the game. You see right there, Kendon on a little reverse, and like I say, he's a natural runner.
Says a lot. Natural running back comes in and he's able to put up the numbers to be your all-time leading receiver when he's done. Here, Tyler Sophia finds Kendon Young down the sideline, and that's just hard to stop. One-on-one out there, no safety help. Kendon Young wins the battle more often than not, it seems like, as Campbellsville ties the game at 28 apiece as they head into the locker room. And I'm sure at that point, Coach, if we would have told you that actually there's still some time left first half, big hit by Andrew Bennett, I believe, down on special teams for Campbellsville. And we'll talk to linebacker coach Matt Brown, who spent some time coaching Bennett up as he spent some time at linebacker here in just a bit. Kendon Young on the screen pass for Campbellsville as we're into the second half. But if we told you, Coach, that it would have been 28-28 going to the locker room, they wouldn't have scored another touchdown. Obviously, you would have taken your chances with that.
Well, and that's our goal. We go in, and we didn't have a great half, but we're like, let's shut them out this second half. And we was almost able to do that. They get the 3 points, but we felt like if we shut them out, we would have a chance to win, and we would win the game. And defensively, second half, we were on fire. We got after them a great deal, and offensively, we moved it some. We just couldn't finish drives.
Here you see Tyler Sophia get loose and he's been able to show his ability to run the football when the pocket collapses. He can step up, and guys in the secondary, that second level, they really don't want to see that big guy coming at them full speed ahead. Campbellsville gives themselves a shot here, Coach. From my vantage point, I thought they picked it up on fourth, but you guys did just enough to hold them a few inches short and give yourselves an opportunity with less than a minute to go.
Yeah, one of the things that hurt us right there was we had to burn a timeout in the second half early because we had too many people on the field on defense, and which is I'm the DC, so I take credit for that. But we had too many people, and I knew when we burned the timeout. The thought process was it was in the fourth quarter, and the thought process was, hey, just take the 5-yard penalty. But at the end of the day, time is time. So we burned the timeout right there, but we knew it could bite us in the butt, and at the end it did, because we could have possibly got the ball back with a minute 30-ish. Minute 40 to go in the game, as opposed to getting it back with 35, 40 seconds and really stressing us that much even more. So, penalties factor in all the time, turnovers factor in, and missed opportunities factor in. And, those are the things that have haunted us. And sometimes you're good enough to overcome those in some games. But for us, we're not good enough to overcome them. We have to execute. We have to do things right. And when we struggle on one of those phases, then it's tough for us to win.
We'll let Coach step out. We'll come back and visit with linebackers Coach Matt Brown here on the Perry Thomas Show. We'll welcome Coach back in a little later on as we preview this homecoming matchup. Pikeville visits Campbellsville this weekend. Stay with us here on the Perry Thomas Show.
Solace at Saloma Baptist, an intergenerational church.
Here, the family of Christ extends far past the walls, and hospitality is held on high.
We are committed in our pursuit of discipling every nation and generation.
For more information on service times, visit salomabaptist.com or call 270-789-0082 and add our Facebook at Saloma Baptist Church.
Saloma Baptist, ministering to the community and to the world in the 21st century.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.
Campbellsville University Cosmetology teaches beauty inside and out. The cosmetology students at CU receive salon experience while learning in a contemporary environment from faculty who have worked in the industry. With areas of study ranging from hairstyling to salon management, Campbellsville University Cosmetology can help you turn your passion into a profession. Kickstart your cosmetology career today. Visit campbellsville.edu/cosmetology.
Citizens Bank and Trust Company serves the Taylor County area with 3 convenient locations. Our online and mobile options can make your banking experience even easier, with features such as digital wallet, Touch ID login with our mobile app, and online deposits. Mobile banking also gives you the online control of your Citizens Bank debit card. Along with our banking locations, we also offer a no-charge ATM in the Student Commons on the campus of Campbellsville University. Citizens Bank and Trust in Campbellsville. Member FDIC, Equal Housing.
Thanks for staying with us here, Tiger fans. The Perry Thomas Show continues on the CU Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we turn our attention now to the defensive side of the ball with linebacker coach Matt Brown, coaching here at his alma mater. Coach,
yes,
thanks for joining us this week. Always a pleasure. A few years back in the fold, wearing the maroon. I know you like being here. It's home, right?
Yes, it is. It's home. It's great to be back again, year 2 for me. So it's been it's been really good.
You talked to any of your buddies coming back from for homecoming this week from your playing days?
I talked to a few of them. They're going to try to make the trip up, so that'll be good to see those guys.
Yeah, always good to see those Tiger reunions. But Coach, let's get on the field here. You've got one of the best in the nation at the linebacker position, and Darius Moore leads the country in tackles for a loss. You inherit a job. You always hope you're coming in to some talent. Coming into a guy like Darius Moore, who's now in his senior season, It's got to be a good feeling.
I tell you what, Darius is a great leader on and off the field. He's the first one in meetings, always asking questions, leading our young guys. So he's the typical leader that you're looking for out of that linebacker group.
And you got some young guys that you mentioned that are coming up. One that started a lot of ball games here in his first few years, missed last week with injury. Hope to get him back this week. Trevor Bunton, a kid out of Bowling Green that you helped bring in, and I know he's going to be a huge piece to the puzzle moving forward.
Yeah, Trevor's coming along well. He had the injury from last week, and so with his hip, but he's back. Did some drills yesterday to make sure he was comfortable. We know the injuries linger a little bit, but he's comfortable, worked hard to get back, and so we're looking forward to having Trevor back on the field.
And then we saw Caleb Gentry one game. He got some action played, and then he disappeared. He's been battling injury as well, junior college transfer. You get Caleb back, you'll actually start to recuperate some of that depth. You won't know what to do with yourself having some changes to make.
Yeah, it'll be a nice problem to have, having that rotation with Caleb, Trevor, and with Darius, of course, to have that depth. So we get beat up a little bit inside, and so to have depth in that inside linebacker is nice.
And then you also take care of the monster position in the Tiger defense, referred to as a monster. Describe that for those listening, and some of the guys, Parrish Howell and Trey Webb, Earl Whitaker, guys that have been manning that spot for you.
Yeah, so with our monsters, they're that hybrid where they can be physical on the run, but also can cover. And so I coach that group with the monsters, and we try to develop a great habit of being physical. Yet we got to make sure we're in the passing game too.
Let's get on the field. Let's talk a little bit about U-Pike. They come in a team somewhat similar to Campbellsville. Some of the ways that they've lost a couple of games this year. Dual threat quarterback that you're going to see. What does that Tiger defense have to do? And more specifically, even at the linebacker spot, you guys have to do?
Well, we just got to make sure we are taking care of our keys, our reads. We got to be physical downhill. Their backs are pretty big. They run hard. But I would take our linebackers against anybody. We just got to make sure we're fundamentally sound, playing with guts like Coach Thomas always says. And I think if we do those things, we'll take care of, especially with the linebackers, we'll take care of the run inside that box.
And for any of those Tiger fans that have followed this year, you get a look at the U-Pike offense. Anybody that they remind you of, or someone that you see, and we'll see a lot of the same concepts from an offensive standpoint, just to kind of get them acclimated to what we're looking at on Saturday?
A little bit of Southeastern. They got a big offensive line. They move pretty well. Got a dual threat quarterback. Southeasterns didn't run their quarterback as much as U-Pike does. So as far as comparison goes, probably Southeastern.
And one thing we want to mention before we wrap up here with Coach Brown, Noah Bixler was named the Mid-South Conference Player of the Week. We forgot to mention that with Coach. Before we bring him back in, we do congratulate Noah Bixler on that award and honor from the Mid-South Conference. Coach, thanks for stopping by this week.
Sir.
Always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Good luck to you guys on Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tigers Saturday taking on U-Pike for homecoming here at Campbellsville University. We'll step away, come back, and visit with the head coach once again on this upcoming matchup with the Bears. Stay here on the Perry Thomas Show.
Kentucky's newest music venue is right around the corner. Located in Summersville, Kentucky, Green River Live is bringing you the artists you love in their new 1,000-seat venue. Shows every Saturday night featuring the Heart of Kentucky band, Green River Live's very own house band, made up of current and former touring musicians. Drop by the GRL Grill or our indoor concession area and pick up your very own Green River Live merchandise. Green River Live on the web at greenriverlive.com.
Campbellsville University Cosmetology teaches beauty inside and out. The cosmetology students at CU receive salon experience while learning in a contemporary environment from faculty who have worked in the industry. With areas of study ranging from hairstyling to salon management, Campbellsville University Cosmetology can help you turn your passion into a profession. Kickstart your cosmetology career today. Visit campbellsville.edu/cosmetology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dwayne Norman, Senior Pastor of Campbellsville Baptist Church. You are invited to experience a caring community where the Word of God is taught and Christ is honored. We invest in the future of our children and youth by providing environments where they are loved, discipled, and taught the Bible, as well as our college ministry, which partners with students and faculty at Campbellsville University. Sunday school begins at 9:15, worship at 10:30. Come join us.
Welcome back, Tiger fans. The Perry Thomas Show continues here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we welcome back the head coach of Fighting Tiger football, Perry Thomas. The Tigers welcome in Pikeville this weekend, a big Mid-South Conference Bluegrass divisional matchup as the Tigers host Pikeville for homecoming here at Campbellsville University. But Coach, before we move too far ahead, let's take a look back at some of the games this past weekend across the Mid-South Conference, at least the Bluegrass division. We won't spend a lot of time outside of that, but Pikeville got a win over Georgetown, Coach, 37-31, the final score there. Cumberland's gets a big win over Bethel. That's one that they needed in a top 25 matchup, 49-21. Lindsey Wilson knocks off Cumberland of Tennessee, 48-6, the final score there. So a couple of big scores. Lindsey Wilson and Cumberland's continue to pace the Bluegrass division at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like right now they're the front runners. U-Pike, I think, team we placed this week played this week. I think it's right there in the mix with them. Cumberland's already beat them, but it was a dogfight, tight game. I won't say 24-13, something like that. So it was a battle. But it looks like right now Lindsey and Cumberland's is the front runners with a couple of people that can throw some monkey wrenches in there against those teams. Cumberland's, impressive win for them. Lindsey Wilson had an impressive win. And, U-Pike had a battle with Georgetown. And, I mean, that thing went down to the wire, and U-Pike was able to come out of it with a big victory. And Georgetown's playing better football right now.
Yes, things continue to take shape across the Mid-South Conference. We look at some of the games that are coming up this coming weekend. Of course, the homecoming game there between Campbellsville and U-Pike. The Tigers taking on the Bears, and Lindsey Wilson will visit Thomas More. Georgetown takes the road trip to McKenzie, Tennessee, and then Cumberland and Cumberland, Tennessee do battle in the nightcap there. And one not listed in the Bluegrass division, Coach, that will be a big one, Southeastern at Kaiser. That may go a long way to settling the Sun division as well.
Exactly right. I think that Sun will come down to those two. Both of those teams are ranked. I think Southeastern is actually ranked much higher than Kaiser right now. But a big win for Kaiser will be a huge feather in their cap, get them in that top 20 and give them the automatic bid to the playoffs. But, obviously they're going to have to get the win to get in there. The Sun actually last year went without a team in the playoff, without a representative. So that's going to be a big game. We face Southeastern this year. We open at Kaiser next year. So, we're certainly interested in see how that game goes.
And then, Lindsey and Cumberland's now, they've got to do this, navigate the waters the rest of the way without looking too far ahead. They finished the season with one another the very last week. So you've already seen Lindsey. You'll see Cumberland's in a few weeks. Those two teams are trying to get to that point, dead even with undefeated records going into that last game. So they've got to navigate muddy waters. Pikeville, Coach, comes in similar to you guys this week. I think they've got 3 losses on the season. 2 of them same way, going into the fourth quarter, one-score game. So you've both been a part of these really close football games.
Yeah, they're a very good football team. They're one of the most impressive-looking teams you're going to see just getting off the bus. Their offensive line is 6'6" and so forth across, and 300-plus pounds, 6'6", 6'5" receivers. Big, strong running backs and quarterbacks, defense the same way. Very impressive looking football team, and they're a good football team. They lost to Murray State, FCS opponent. They lost in overtime to Reinhardt, a team that beat us, and they lost a close one with the University of the Cumberland. So they're a very good football team, capable of scoring points, capable of playing shutout defense. You know, they're going to bring a lot of pressure on defense, which we've struggled with. We've struggled with just four-man pressure, and they're going to add pressure constantly and really try to get after us. And then they have a combination on offense, run mix, pass mix that you know, is deadly and good personnel. So we're going to have to really step up our game and play a complete game. We can't play a half of offense and a half of defense like we did last week. We have to play a complete game. And
it's an offense, Coach, that quarterback's going to present you some dual threat looks. So you haven't seen a whole lot of that this year from that dual threat. You've seen mostly pocket passers. I know last week Thomas Moore liked to get Justin Post out on the edge, but I think maybe Union the only dual threat guy you've seen.
Well, Union and Southeastern's guy were running quite a bit, but you know, we've managed the dual threat guy pretty good. So mostly they've been giving it or throwing it. And, you know, this kid, I think, will probably try to keep it a little bit more because he's, you know, they have the line and the personnel to do that. But we're going to, you know, we're going to have to shut down that run game and that quick pass off of it. They ran, I think the tailback ran for 184, 186 against Georgetown. So we have to really focus on those guys and then let those DBs cover. You know, run our pressures and things as we've been doing, but we're going to have to be fundamentally sound and aggressive. Their front is huge. I mean, they compared to the Southeastern type line size-wise, and we competed well with those guys up front, and we're going to have to come back out and compete well again this week.
Homecoming at Campbellsville University is always an exciting time. I know you'll get some guys back that you've coached over the last few years. Your thoughts on the homecoming weekend festivities?
Well, you know, homecoming is always good. And one thing I like about homecoming, especially at the collegiate level, is that, you know, it brings back people from all walks of life. It's not just about the football game. You know, the people from the nursing department come back, people from media department come back, the cheerleaders, everyone comes back. And that creates a nice atmosphere. I wish, obviously, we were better. But it creates a nice atmosphere to get everyone back from every walk of life that just loves Campbellsville University. You know, in high school, it becomes a little more focused on the game and the students at the school. But at college, you know, it's really a homecoming. Everybody comes back for it, and it's always exciting. So it's always exciting. You know, we always have good games. We don't always win them. You know, we've won our share, but I don't think we've won one since 15. So, you know, we need to get this one, but we'll have a good crowd, I'm sure. The first day game at home since the Reinhardt game, I guess. But we've had good crowds. Fall break was a little down, which you expect that, but I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere, and it should be an exciting day of football.
Should be a good one. Nice weather on the slate as well for Campbellsville as they take on Pikeville this weekend, 2 o'clock. The kickoff time for that game, 1:30. The Tiger Tailgate Show begins here on the CU Sports Network. Special thanks to linebacker coach Matt Brown for joining us, as well as the head coach Perry Thomas. We'll see you next time on the Perry Thomas Show.
Central Kentucky's newest music venue is right around the corner. Located in Summersville, Kentucky, Green River Live is bringing you the artists you love in their new 1,000-seat venue. Shows every Saturday night featuring the Heart of Kentucky band, Green River Live's very own house band, made up of current and former touring musicians. Drop by the GRL Grill or our indoor concession area and pick up your very own Green River Live merchandise. Green River Live on the web at greenriverlive.com.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.
Take a look at Campbellsville University's campus with us, right here on WLCU TV, Campbellsville, Comcast Channel 10, and Digital Channel 15.